questions KJ was just asked and other guys have been asked throughout this last few weeks. The answer becomes, I don't know, we got to figure it out. Obviously, it's frustrating for him. How do they figure it out? Where do you look to your leaders to pull them through this kind of a stretch, up and down, answers like that? What do you do to get?
Well, I don't know what the questions were, but I would assume, why do you guard some days and not guard the other days? And to me, we have. That's why I just told them it's been very difficult for us, for whatever reason, to string games of superb energy back to back, or even consistently at all. We've I mean, you guys have seen this. There are times against elite teams we can lock anybody down, and there's times that we can't guard our shadow. I thought K-State played unreal. They shot it great. They were faster. They played with more energy, but we didn't do anything to make them play out of rhythm at all. It was a very dull defensive game. I mean, maybe Jerome would say the same thing too, because we got the shots we wanted. But I didn't think we played with energy defensively, and we're not quick enough to keep up with speed when you aren't turned up, and we weren't defensively turned up. Our offense actually come over here and score 73. I'd take that before the game starts and say, all right, let's see what happens. But obviously our defense wasn't up to par.
Coach, I know it's not much in the history of the series, but 3 straight for K-State over you. They seemed really confident coming in. They never got flustered. Just thought about that.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with 3 straight. I think it has a lot to do with they're playing their best ball of the season right now, and they won 5 in a row now, and they've looked good doing it too. Yeah, I think that they did play confidently. You know, it's, that team out there today didn't look like a 12 and 11 team. I think that's what they are now. But the thing about it is, we didn't look like a top 20 team either. So it was. I think, you know, give them credit, but you know, the confidence I think was probably more directed from recent play, I would think, rather than anything else.
Does K-State have the ability or the possibility of making the NCAA tournament in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, God, everybody's got a possibility. You know, everybody plays in a tournament in Kansas City, so everybody's got a chance. But yeah, absolutely. They don't have much margin for error, I wouldn't think. But they play like that, then they're gonna have a chance to win a lot of games moving forward.
Coach, it's the first time since the 1982-83 season that you guys have lost both at Mizzou and at K-State. What do you think has been the challenge for you guys this year in these sort of charged-up road environments?
Well, first of all, it's a bullshit stat because, you know, I don't know what happened from 82 to 2002. I have no idea. But I would say that in both of those games in particular, we had 2 of our least best defensive performances in both games. So I would probably say that was a common denominator for, you know, this year. I don't know what it was in 82. Maybe they didn't make free throws. I don't know. But for this particular year, I'd say probably lack of defensive stops or getting enough finishes as what we need to.
Phil, as you guys enter the next couple stretching games, what are you looking to see from this team? How much are you paying attention to the Big 12 race as a whole?
How much what?
Are you paying attention to the Big 12 race as a whole? Where you guys stand?
Well, I'll pay attention to the race. We're not in it to win it. We've got 5 losses now, so you know, even if we were to win out, I don't think you're going to have 4 teams lose. 2 teams lose 4 times. So no, I'm not looking at it like that. But I am looking at it as you know, not trying to minimize anything. The way the college world is today in basketball, it's the same way in football. The Big 12 conference race means a lot, but if you don't win in football, but if you don't win the conference game, you don't get in the playoff. I mean, that's the way it was. It's not the same as it used to be. What we need to do is get better over the next month, and then hopefully play our best when the postseason rolls around. That's how I would look at it.
DeWan getting in early foul trouble, how much do you think that impacted things for you guys defensively?
I think it crushed us. I mean, and they were bad plays. I mean, I didn't see the last one. They said he tripped him. Is that right? Said it wasn't with his hand, but it was with his foot, which may have been a good call. I'm not saying it wasn't. But the thing about it is, how do you put yourself in that position, being a 6-year senior? You know, that was tough. But yeah, playing without Juan, guys, is not good for us. We need him out there for some stability, without question.
And you talked about the consistency of the highs and lows of efforts and guarding. Maybe you don't have the answer to it, but what do you think it will take to get to that point where it is a more consistent thing for you guys?
I would say, honestly, maybe having a mindset that it's not a game day attitude, it's an everyday attitude. Because our practice is inconsistent as well when it comes to that also. So, and we're not talented enough that we can just show up and win off talent. So we got to be turned up and have to play a certain way. And now when we do that, we can play with anybody and beat anybody. But when we don't, it drops quite a bit. You know, I mean, yesterday at practice, the same message was sent and we played today on that end exactly like we practiced yesterday.
You already addressed it, but did it shock the team when Juan was out? I mean, did it set the tone for the whole day?
Gary, I think it probably did, but to me, that's also a sign of not being very mentally tough if one thing can set the tone for the whole thing. So stuff you got to play through. And granted, we had to 6 at halftime, and then he makes an unbelievable shot to end the half. It's a shot that we actually defended very well. But I actually felt decent coming out of halftime, and we got wide open looks to start the second half and didn't make it.
What about with DeWan specifically, and how that affects his game? I mean, you mentioned a minute ago, 6-year senior. Do you expect him to be able to play through that, especially starting the second half and kind of?
I actually thought he did play fairly well the second half. I don't think anybody played great, but I thought Juan played pretty well the second half. But it wasn't a situation where he could probably be as aggressive as he wanted to be.
As you try to get to the point of consistency, how much of that is figuring out, I guess, from the bottom part of your rotation, who's going to play and how
No,
much?
it's not.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.